phenomenal? What if I told you that your pay raise is on the other side of your fears? I want you to think about that, man. There's things that you fear, and the things you fear are stopping you from getting the pay raise that you want. The question is, do you really want the pay raise? Okay. Do you really, 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 truly want a pay raise? If you do, then let's find the fears, right? Because if I said to you, would you like to make X amount per month, X amount per year? You're going to be like, yes. So the follow up question is, what is it that you have to do to be able to get there? And when you start to think about what you have to do to get there, that's where the fear starts to setting. That's where the self doubt starts to breed. You know what I mean? Like it don't just live; it's breeding. Every single day, that self doubt sets in more and more and more. It's not the income that you can't get. Why do I say that? Because it's available. The income is available, and this is the illest part. When you get around people that you feel as though you're better than in any way, and they're living a better quality of life, they're making more income than you start to say to yourself, I could do that. Like if they could do that, I could do that. And you start taking necessary steps. You start to become a believer, right? But then what happens is that fear sets in of what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't work? What I'm saying to you here is I want you to understand one thing, right? One thing. If you just understand this one thing and you get this one thing when we're talking about sales, the fear that you have is the only thing in between you and the pay raise that you want. When I first got into sales, I was like nervous to talk to people, right? I was nervous to try to overcome the objection more than one time. Like someone say no to me one time and I would like respond to them to try to overcome it and they would say no again. I was too nervous to keep speaking up, right? I had a fear that these people are not going to want to do business with me. No matter what, they're not going to want to do business with me. And I let that fear live. I let it live. I let it live. And then I realized, yo, the only reason you're not getting what it is that you really want right now is you have fear in between you and the destination you desire, right? So now I had to ask myself, okay, what's the fear? What am I afraid of? And when I started to figure out what really had me nervous, what I was really afraid of, I started to put my energy to that, right? I put my energy and my focus to that one thing that I had a fear of. And it was a fear of these people that I'm in front of are not going to want to do business with me because of my background, because of where I come from. Now, watch this. They never knew. That was only living in here. And I said, wow, I have a fear of these people seeing who I used to be and not who I am right now. But the only way they will see who I used to be is if I show them, is if I tell them about it. Other than that, they don't know me. So I had to develop me in a better way. I had to put more time, more energy, more focus into me. And when I did that, I said to myself, and I never forget it, right? I never forget the day. I said to myself, I said, yo, these people are going to love you today. And when I approached these people, it was a family. I never forget it. It was a tall dude, bald with a big bald spot, right? It was he was with his wife and he had his two kids. And they all looked like they just came from playing tennis or golf or something, right? And I said, yo, they're going to love me. I didn't walk up to them in mind like they can see who I used to be. I walked up to them like they can see who I am in this current moment. You're falling victim in sales because of who you used to be or the self-doubt you have about yourself. So I want you to sit down today, right? I want you to really take some time to identify what is the fear, right? And don't try to find all of them, but what is the fear that comes to your mind right now, right? Right now, what's the fear that comes to your mind that's stopping you from making the income you want? You decided to get into sales. But you're not talking to enough people. Why? Why are you not walking up talking to enough people? Why are you not picking up the phone, making enough phone calls? Why are you not following up with your leads the way you're supposed to follow up with your leads? There's a fear that you have. That fear is stopping you from making the money you desire. What if every fear you discovered was worth $100? What if every fear you discovered was worth $100? It was just $100 for discovery. Because just discovering something, right, will give you a pay raise. Because there might be a way to avoid it. There might be a way to do it a different way. But if you never acknowledge the fear, you will let it keep living and your income will keep suffering. Okay? So I want you to sit down and I want you to write down what is the fear in between you and the desired sales income that you want to make. When you identify this, you don't need to do nothing else for the rest of the month other than focus on eliminating that fear. Because if identifying the fear is worth $100 to you, what would it be to eliminate the fear? See, you can have all the fancy scripts, you can know all the fancy closes, you can have a whole bunch of customers in front of you, but if you keep losing because of the same fear over and over and over again, what good is it? What good is the script if you're too afraid to deliver it with confidence? What good is all the customers in front of you if you're too afraid to say what needs to be said? What's the point of having all these customers in front of you when you keep losing to the same objections over and over and over again? You see, it's not you don't have access to the tools to win. The internal tool is stopping you from utilizing the external tools. Okay? So today, I want to help you with that a little bit. I'm going to share some points with you. Okay? And again, man, like I tell you guys all the time, do not be information hoarders. Do not think because I'm here talking to y'all right now for absolutely free, right? Don't think that the information is not valuable. I want you to take the information. I want you to go utilize the information. I want you to show yourself that, I'm more valuable than I think I am. The only reason I'm not winning is because I'm not acknowledging the fears I have. And when I know the fears I have, now the reason I'm not winning is because I'm not willing to conquer the fears. Okay? Fear only sets in with lack of knowledge and lack of preparation. Now, I'm not saying with all the knowledge and all the preparation that you're still not going to have a little bit of fear, but you're going to move inside of that fear with another level of confidence, which is phenomenal. Right? When you have a fear, but you attack that fear multiple times and you was able to be victorious, right? Maybe sometimes you wasn't and that fear got the best of you, but you came closer than before. See, sometimes it's not always about the win, it's about getting closer. Because if I went from step 1 to step 4, that's progress. If I went from step 4 to step 4.5, that's progress. 4.5 to 6, more progress. I don't have to win every single time. I just got to get a little bit of progress. I got to get one step further. That gives me the hope and the courage to keep going. This is what sales is, okay? So let's talk about it. I don't even know what day we're on. I keep saying this, man. I don't know. I got to go back and I got to keep track, right? I'm going to go look and see what day we're on, but let's do this real quick. You don't have a skill problem. You have a belief problem. The reason I say you don't have a skill problem is because you can go and develop the skill. You can go put in the work, but your lack of belief in sales is stopping you from going to do the work to build the belief. So it's not a skill set. It's the lack of belief. When you have belief that when you put 30 days into something and you focus your 30 days on it, right, your belief will start to go up. When your belief goes up, it's because your skill set in the area went up. The more skilled you are, the more belief you have in yourself. When you have no skills, when you keep going at it over and over and over and over and over, repeating the same old thing over and over, right, and it's not working for you, it creates insanity, right? That's the definition of insanity, the same thing over and over. So you don't have a skill problem, you have a belief problem. That's your problem. So I want you to get more belief in you. I want you to get more belief in you, okay? So watch this. Self-doubt leaks through your tone. Self-doubt leaks through tone. What do I mean by that? When you're in a conversation and you're talking, have you ever been in a position where you're talking and your voice is low because you're nervous, you're not 100% if you're right, but the minute you know you're right about something, or the minute it's a topic that you are 100% certain about, like you know this topic inside and out, your voice goes up and nobody can shut you up? People are like, yo, quiet down, bring your voice down. No, you're happy to know something, so you're talking with a high level, right? So self-doubt leaks through tone. When you don't have the belief in yourself, you talk very low, you talk timid. You talk with uncertainty. You don't talk like you're believable. But when you talk to somebody and you talk with a level of conviction, right? It's because you understand what's going on right now. You ever talk to them people and they're always quiet, but every time they're finally right about something, they want to talk real loud, or they want to really be opinionated, right? They really want to, like, you can't shut them up because they're never right. They want to keep reminding you that they was finally right. Yep. Self-doubt. You doubt yourself a whole bunch. You doubt yourself a whole bunch. Okay. So self-doubt leaks through your tone. Your tone will sound shaky. Your tone will sound timid when you have self-doubt. When you believe, it's a whole nother level of conviction. When you believe this is what it is, you don't care what nobody says. This is where your sales starts to elevate, just off of the fact that you believe. You believe. You talk with conviction. You ever see that ugly dude and he got that lady with him, and you're like, yo, how did he get her? He had the confidence to say something when most didn't. I hope you get it. I hope you get it. Let's go to this next one. Customers feel insecurity. When you're insecure and you're talking to your customer, the way you move, the way you act, the way you talk, customers can see it. Customers can feel it. Customers is like, yo, you're not comfortable with you. Why should I be? You know what I mean? It's like somebody who keep changing their appearance of their face. It's like somebody who wants to, like, do them whole selves over. Like, you're not happy with you. Why should anybody else be happy with you? And I know somebody might be like, well, that's personal preference. Oh, I like this. Listen, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, right? I'm just saying. And some people, I know some people gonna really they're gonna be mad at me for that statement, but I don't care, right? If you're not comfortable, if your customer can sense insecurities in you, why should they believe in you? If you got to go out and change your whole appearance to be somebody else, look like somebody else, go under a knife, get all these bruises and scrapes, and right, take all of these risks to change who you are, why should somebody else like you? Why should somebody else be comfortable with you when you're not comfortable with you? I use that example because when I'm telling you that customers feel insecurity, they do. And nobody wants to work with someone who is insecure about their product, their service, the actions, the process. I'm going to tell you right now, when I'm with a customer, I'm telling the customer, this is the process. Boom, 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 boom. Well, we want to do it this way, or it should be like this. Totally understand it. There's a reason we do it this way. Is it okay if I explain it to you? You see what I mean? Just because somebody doesn't believe or understand the process doesn't mean I deviate. I don't deviate. I'm a believer. You're going to be like, wow, you really know what you're talking about. Yeah, not only do I know what I'm talking about, but I believe it. You want a pay raise? Get beyond your fear. Your pay raise is on the other side of your fear. It's all I want you to think about. When you're afraid of doing something, say, oh, my pay raise is on the other side of the way I feel. My pay raise is on the other side of what I believe right now. My pay raise is on the other side of what I'm seeing right now. Stop letting the fear that you built, you developed, you crafted yourself single-handedly. Stop letting that fear destroy your sales income. Not trying to motivate you right now. I'm trying to give you real facts. I'm trying to give you real facts. You have you, fear, and what you want. This space in here is where you need to put all your attention. When you feel nervous, yo, go do it. When you feel like it might be one of the impossible, go get that shit done. When you feel like people might laugh at you, yo, go do it anyway. Because every time I do it, I become stronger. Every time you laugh at me, I understand you just the one who never did nothing. The people that laugh at you, the people that talk about you are the ones that never, ever, ever, ever in their life did anything. Because if they did, they would understand you got to go through a process of trial and error. They would understand that everything you do is not going to work. Everything you do is not going to be a success. You will be knocked down way more times than you win, I promise you. I promise you. So I need you to understand, man, customers will feel your insecurity. Watch this. Every time I talk, like right now, right? I don't know, y'all probably can't see it, right? But I got goosebumps. Why? Because I love what I do. Not only do I love what I do, but I am passionate about what I do. And when I talk to a customer and I get the opportunity to show that I care, to show that I'm passionate, to show that what I'm saying to you is not anything about sales, it's about helping you to get to your desired destination, right? Because I understand when I get you to your desired destination, I get myself to my desired destination. Yeah, I tell customers that, right? When the customer's like, oh, you're just salesy. You just want to make a sale. No, listen, what I understand is that when I help you to reach your desired destination and you're happy, you're smiling, your family is joyful, you're appreciative of what I've done for you, that allows me to get to my desired destination of my financial goal. That's it, right? I'm not afraid to say that to the customer because I mean it. So when I say that to them, no matter what they're saying, the customer cannot feel no insecurity in me. And I'm gonna point it out like, look, I get goosebumps. And watch, every time I say something to you, right, and it's like passionate, and it's something that I really care about, I show them the goosebumps. And then what's gonna happen is gonna be like, oh, every time they're gonna be looking for the goosebumps. Why? Because that's my tell truth sign. I'm telling you my tell truth sign. So when you see the goosebumps, you're like, oh, look, oh, you got the goosebumps, it must be. I can't fake the goosebumps. It's like, there's a few singers, right? And I noticed this back when Fantasia first came out on American Idol, right? I know, I'm gonna trip out real quick, right? But when Fantasia first came out and she was singing, I got goosebumps. And I said, ooh. The feeling I had when I heard her, like, ooh, she's blowing. And then the goosebumps. I said, oh, okay. And then I heard her again and the goosebumps came back. And I said, oh, that happens every time I feel. And then when I would go speak and I would get the goosebumps, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. When I'm speaking from here with that confidence, without any insecurities, I still have a little bit of fear there, right? But I understand that that fear is always going to show up. My job is to trump the fear. So I want you guys to understand, man, customers will feel insecurity. How do we not be insecure with customers? We prepare for the customer before we ever get in front of the customer. We prepare for the situation as much as we can before the situation comes up. And when the situation comes up, we're like, oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. And we're moving different. And then when it's all said and done, we're like, wow, I didn't really, see what I mean? Yo, your sales income that you desire is on the other side of your fears. The income you're making right now in sales is because you are living on the side of fear that has no value. You're living on the side of fear that has no value when on the other side of fear is everything that you want. Right? Everything that you want. And watch this. When you cross over, when you eliminate the fear in between you and the results, the desired results that you desire right now, when you get there, there's going to be another level you want. And then there's going to be another level of fear. But because you conquered the fear before it, you're going to have more confidence to go at the fear in front of it. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. Number three, certainty sells. Certainty sells. When I talk to you, and I talk to you with a level of confidence, a level of certainty, that's what you buy. Y'all be thinking you're selling a product and a service. No, more importantly, you're selling yourself. How are you delivering? What's your level of confidence? You're selling yourself. The product or service, they know about it. That's why they came. They're on the fence. Can you tip them? Right? Can you tip them to the other side? Let me give y'all a cheat code. I don't know if y'all read the book, The Dark Side of Manipulation. Probably not, right? Probably not. Probably not. The dark side of manipulation, when you hear it, it's like, wow, dark side of manipulation. I don't want to be manipulated. If you use it as a positive, you can help people to achieve their desired results. The more people you help to achieve their desired results, the easier it will be for you to achieve your desired results. So when I'm saying the dark side of manipulation, a lot of people want something, but they also have a fear of going to do it. They also have a fear of taking risk, right? And because they have a fear of taking risk, if you can talk to them and use the strategies and the dark side of manipulation and manipulate them to believe, right, that they're better than what they are, they can achieve more than what they have, they can do more than what they're doing, they can become a better them, is there a problem? Is there a problem with that? No. That's using dark side of a manipulation in a positive way. The problem is some of y'all will read and study the dark side of manipulation, and then you will use it in a negative way. That's not a dark side of manipulation problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. Go get the book. Go read the book, The Dark Side of Manipulation. I want you to be so respectful and responsible when it comes to the book. Okay? You will be able to talk to people and identify what their roadblock is. And once you identify what their roadblock is, you will be able to manipulate them to believe more in themselves, to be able to move forward. Okay? I hope you get it, man. Why? Because certainty sells. Certainty. I am certain that this will be, I'm certain that you can reach $100,000 in the next 12 months in sales. I am certain of that. I am 100% certain of that. You can reach $100,000 in the next 12 months in sales. The question is, are you going to do the work? I'm certain that the information works. I'm certain that if you follow it, it'll work for you. I'm certain of that with confidence, okay? Certainty sells. Number 4, belief is trainable. Belief is trainable, okay? Belief is trainable. When you identify what it is you want to believe and then you go after the things that you want to believe in, yo, you can have it. It's trainable. I can train myself to believe in me. I can't train you to believe in me, right? I can, but that's a lot of energy. But I can train me to believe in me. How do I do that? I find something when I run into something that I'm not sure of, that I don't really believe that maybe I can do it. I don't take the guess and say, oh, probably not possible. I go do it. When I go do it and it works, I become more believable. It becomes more believable to me, right? Believable is trainable. I train myself to believe in me by going after everything that I want. When I feel nervous about something, when I feel like I'm really not too sure, I go do it. Because if I say, oh, that might not work, what I know for certain is if I don't do it, and I just believe that it might not work, it will 100% not work. But if I say, I'm not sure if it will work, but let me go do it anyway, right? Let me just figure it out. And I only get 2% through it. Yeah, I think I'm 2% better now. I only get 5% through it. I'm 5% better now. I go to 10%. I get 10% through it. I'm 10% better now. See, you're worried about, you're basing your belief on something to completion. So if you don't complete it, you don't believe you can do it. But why don't you get started and do as much of it as you can and become a believer of what you can do? You see what I mean? I never done it before. I'm not supposed to know how to do it 100%. I never did it. But if I get started doing it, and I go through this much, and I go through this much, and I go through this much, before you know it, I done did so much that yes, the stuff in front of me is still creating issues, right? It still has some things that are hard to deal with, some things that are hard to learn, but the stuff in back of me, I got that. I got that. You ever been walking, you ever had like a long walk ahead of you and you're walking, and then you get like, you walk for like 10 minutes, don't really feel like 10 minutes, but you turn around and look to see how far you came, and you're like, wow, man, I came a distance. Or you ever see somebody walking and they're walking slow, and then you keep doing what you're doing and you look up, they ain't there no more, they're way down there. You're like, yo, how they get way down there? What I'm saying to you is stop focusing on, you want to make 100,000 a year? Stop focusing on what you made this month, right? And stop focusing on what you learned this month. Stop focusing on what skill set you developed this month. Stop focusing on how much better you became this month. Stop focusing on the type of people you put into your life this month that are going to help you to move forward. Because this month might be a development month. Next month might be an execution month. The month after that might be, oh, I get to see it. So I go from developing to execution, right? To wow, I get to see the fruits of my labor. Stop thinking that everything has to be tied into the final result. It doesn't. It's not only about the final result. It's about what you learned in the journey. Because when you reach that final destination, you're still going to want more. But what's going to help you to get more is what you learned in your journey, not you arriving at the final destination. Just because you completed something does not mean you have the right to move on. But when you complete something and you understand the journey and you mastered the journey and you fell in love with the process of the journey, you now have the skill set to move on. Just because you complete it doesn't mean you have the skill set to move on. How many people graduate high school and never do nothing? How many people graduate college, never do nothing? The skill set by itself is not enough. Yo, I hope today, man, I hope today you really pick something up. I hope today you really got something. Okay, because I'm watching too many people make excuses. Man, I don't have a formal education. I'm in the struggle. Man, I never finished high school. Man, I didn't get the chance to go to college. Man, I don't come from a family that, was privileged like these other people over there. Okay, cool, I get it. I get it. If you don't come from a family that's privileged, right, financially, you come from a family that puts up a fight every daggone day. You put up a family that made it through all the struggles that most families that got the money would have never made it through. So you have a burning desire to win. You just think you can only win in one space. It's more than one space you can win in. Yo, you got to go do the work. You got to go do the work, okay? Stop overcomplicating this thing. And stop holding yourself accountable to be better than what you currently are. It's on you, okay? Everything that you want is on the other side of fear. You want a pay raise? Eliminate that fear. Before you can eliminate it, you got to identify it. Once you identify it, you put your time and your energy into eliminating it, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Every fear you move, you get a pay raise. Every fear you get out the way, you get a pay raise. Every time you feel nervous, go do that shit. Every time you feel like giving up, don't. Every time somebody tells you you're overworking, go take a break. Yo, get rid of them. You see what I mean? Like, yo, you're allowing too many people in your life that have no value. Other than, oh, they're a friend, they're family, I love you. Okay, cool. You can love me, but you can also damage me with your love because you love me so hard, you're trying to protect me from everything that I want to do. You're trying to protect me. You're trying to keep me safe from everything that I want to do. The problem is my emotions are trying to keep me safe too. And I got to fight my emotions every single day. I got to fight the way that I feel every single day so that I can go get what I want. That's the part that hurts. That's the part that hurts. Okay? Stop hitting your snooze button. Get your ass up. Stop hanging out with friends that ain't doing nothing. If your friends ain't making more than you or just as much as you and looking to make more, get rid of them. Stop letting friends overstay their welcome. Stop letting family overstay their welcome. Okay? This time right now is about you. This season is about you. Let's go get it done. I'll talk to y'all.